if you're in that situation where a penalty dictates the outcome of a game, you did not do your job as a team. Hey, welcome to Thy Kingdom Come. We're a podcast where we talk all things Chiefs and NFL. Something I didn't touch on last week, Dionte.
What did you touch on?
We got a new flag.
Don't touch me.
We got a new flag.
Yep, right here.
I touched you. I hope you don't mind.
Back to back, baby.
Yikes. This is getting off to a rough start. I'm Justyn. That's Dionte. Josiah's behind the scenes doing God knows what.
Could you imagine what kind of flag, if we get a three-peat, what kind of flag it would be? It'd probably be red.
Yeah, it'd probably say three-peat.
Yep.
That'd be my guess.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. Hopefully you guys are seeing a better image quality this week. If not, that means the camera failed. But, yeah, we got a new camera. That's fun.
Woo-woo.
Yay. Okay, so let's jump into these first. We're going to kind of do what we always do. We did the last 2 weeks. I'm going to hit injuries real quick for other teams, kind of go over injuries for the Chiefs. There really wasn't many to touch on, but and then we'll just jump into the recap. So big injuries this week. One big one. We've got your boy Sam Laporta over in Detroit. Ankle injury.
Oh.
Boo. You got Sam Darnold messed up his knee a little bit. He said he's fine, and that's all he's going to say about that.
Which Vikings came out with another big dub, man.
Bruh. Here's one that's going to impact us a little bit. Justin Herbert, high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
Probably not going to be there next.
And even before during warm-up, he was already a little timid. And they said he was good to go, and then a tackle.
He wasn't good to go.
Took him out the game. So.
He wasn't good to go.
Yep.
So there's that. We've got Devontae Smith went out with a possible concussion. Well, it is a concussion. At the time, it was possible concussion, but dude left with a concussion. Trey McBride went out with a concussion. And Adam Thielen went out with a hamstring injury on the same play. He injured that hamstring on the touchdown play he made,
which was a spectacular touchdown. Nice catch.
It was a great catch. Tank Dell, hand, wrist, and rib injuries. Dude got banged up.
Head, foot, and mouth.
Right, and then Skylar Thompson was pulled from the game for Miami with a rib injury. So,
well, both of their quarterbacks got hurt, right?
Yeah. Yeah, was it Tyler Huntley, right?
Yeah.
Jeez, dude. Man, I think that we're seeing a offensive line issue in Miami.
Yeah. Tyreek Hill got paid, though, to go there.
Yeah, oh, my gosh. He got paid. He had 30.
Slightly more
than
I've
been
been
7
paid.
catches for like 30 yards this week.
Yes, he did not help me in fantasy. Thank you.
Oh, my gosh, man. Like, what the heck? Or it was like 4 catches for 30, something like that. I don't know. He didn't score many points at all. But then we just jumped to the Chiefs. There's probably a couple injuries I'm missing. Joe Alt might not be in the game this week against the Chiefs for the Chargers.
James. Not an injury, but effect.
So what's his name? I can't think of his first name. Darwin James.
Yep.
Derwin James?
Yes.
Derwin James.
James.
Man, Darwinism is real. Derwin James is suspended 1 game for his repeated inability to tackle safely. He keeps launching himself at the heads of players is essentially what it is. So when he goes to tackle somebody, he puts the top of his helmet into the high chest head area of the offensive players. So he is suspended 1 game.
Which do they tag that under targeting?
So I don't think he was penalized during the game.
Okay.
I don't know if he was. To be honest, I couldn't have cared less because it's the Chargers.
Yes.
The Chargers are going to Charger. Sorry, guys. Chiefs is still the Chiefs. Chargers is still the Chargers.
Yeah.
Just kind of how it is. Then let's jump to injuries for the Chiefs this weekend. Rashee Rice went down at one point.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh God, no.
I don't know,
like,
look very scary because of
man,
how
he looked
been with Hollywood Brown
right.
out, and you're like, oh,
looked
gosh.
like he got that wind knocked out of him or something. So he went out for a play, came right
like
back.
Took a hand or fist to the stomach.
Yeah, it was
that tackle.
Yeah, it didn't look fun.
Yeah,
did not look fun.
But,
But he came back like a play later or something like that after catching his breath. The big one that I've been worried about is Nick Bolton. Looked like he was having like back spasms or like something like that. But he would go out for a few plays, stretch it out, and then come right back in.
Yeah.
So that guy was. Yeah, he worried us a little bit, but he still came back to make the defensive play. No matter what happens in a game, it seems like the Chiefs' defense just on the last drive always steps up to some extent. So, yep, that's what I got for injuries. So, Daddy D.
Yeah. Well,
you kind of,
coming from that, good teams have to find ways to win, and it's good to see that. In this, what I would say past 4 years, really seeing the defense step up in those times.
Right.
So, I mean, let's be honest, we really have relied a ton on the offense.
Yeah.
You just got to think, as years go, the defense assignments from the coordinators just, because, they try to get better year to year. And so seeing Patrick Mahomes and knowing what he can do, and our offense, you're going to try to doll up what you can to affect that. So
I'm gonna try to get comfortable like you.
And
see what happens here.
That 2019 team that we had, just it was a different breed of offense. You know what I mean?
It really was.
So
and even the year that we won the Super Bowl without Tyreek in 2022, that still was not like a high-flying, high-powered offense. We still had to find ways on defense to win games. So,
and we're seeing that come to life. So.
Which I think has really prepared these guys for, because you got to think most of this team got put together in 21-22.
Yeah,
a lot of that defense.
Yep.
So you got guys looking to get paid in the next couple of years, which is going to be a lot.
Yeah,
there's going to be a lot. So here in a couple of years, we might have to finagle some stuff around, pull the Jerry Sneed moves. Move some players, but.
All right, so let's get into the overall recap of the game. We won 22-17.
Yeah, we did.
We got the dub, so that makes us 3-0. With that was our first away game, which was pretty electrifying. Sunday night game against the Falcons. So, all right, so we'll get to the opponent stats. You had Kirk Cousins, who overall went 20 for 29, 230 yards, a touchdown and a pick, sacked a couple times. And then on the rushing, the game plan dialing up to, because the week before Bijan Robinson had a highlight of a game and was instrumental in helping them come back in their win last week. So we was able to hold him to 16 carries, 31 yards. He did get a touchdown. But we contained him really, really
That's
well.
got to be frustrating. You got less than 2 yards a carry.
Yep.
On 16 carry. That's super frustrating. I mean, Tyler Algier had a much better game as a secondary back. He only had 1 more yard, but still.
Yeah. I think he averaged around 4.4 yards a carry or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think the defense did their job against Bijan Robinson, with just not letting him really get going, which was a huge game plan there. Receiving wise, Drake London, he had a pretty decent game. 6 for 67, and a touchdown. Which that touchdown, I know a little bit of our concerns of just kind of how secondary would be on this was a broken down coverage.
Yep.
Where in the press conference, Najee Johnson did admit to he was trying to do too much. Yeah. He said, I felt that there was a screen coming on, what you did see Bijan Robinson break in, kind of coming in for the screen, but I would say it was just all of a design of the play.
Yep.
And he said he tried to do too much because Tranquil was going to follow Bijan while Najee Johnson would follow the guy going
right.
Going
well,
deep.
And you do see Najee at the snap, like, give him the signal to, like, switch if he goes out. And Tranquil didn't see him at all. Yeah. Tranquil's looking over to the other, the back, like Trent McDuffie, and like looking to see, hey, what's this You know what I mean? And he didn't see Najee give the play. And, I mean, realistically, like, it's just it's a blown coverage. I doubt we see Najee Johnson make that mistake again.
Yeah. Yep.
So we'll see.
Yep, I agree. So that's how Drake London got that touchdown. So little breakdown there. Chiefs, though.
Yeah.
It's crazy because Patrick Mahomes had 39 attempts, but, you know, a lot of it wasn't crazy downfield.
Nope.
But so, you know, and we knew that probably coming to this game, he'll probably throw a little more with Pacheco out. So Mahomes went 26 for 39, 217 yards, 2 touchdowns in the pick, which understand on that interception. On that play was Andy Reid was like, it was a touchdown play if the pass protection held up. This is just those kind of weird things you just kind of work out. That you got to just work out. But the passing protection with Carson Steele was supposed to slide because it was cover 0. And we didn't pick up that blitzer within pressured Mahomes. But Mahomes also, you know, saying he has to play better. He didn't, you know, he probably shouldn't have thrown that ball. Man. I mean, we seen quite a few just even from the get-go, you know, the first pass to Rice that would have been a first down was low. You know, a little bit off there.
Even on catches, balls just didn't look like they were where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, there was I think 2 of the catches Rashee Rice made. I'm like, oh, that's a perfect ball that only he can get. But to those 2, there were 12 balls that should have been further out in front of the receiver.
Yeah.
Like there was several that Rashee Rice had to reach behind him to grab. The one to Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah.
He had to, which we'll get to in a minute. Yeah. He had to reach behind him and grab. So, I almost feel like he adjusted last year to having to undercut his receivers because they weren't like making the plays downfield.
Right.
And he's almost like in that mindset of like, oh, I've got to put it like in a position like a little bit further back because my receivers aren't confident running the route, so they're not going to be where I need them to be. They're going to be here, so I'm going to throw it there. That's kind of what it looks like, you know what I mean? But I think that's going to change over time. Like over the season, you'll see him become more accurate again and making more balls downfield. Miss Travis Kelce on a couple open routes.
Yep.
You know, and which he acknowledged as well. So I think we'll see better out of Patrick Mahomes as the season comes along.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a hot take.
We'll see better out of Patrick Mahomes. His marriage is in shambles. His friendship with Travis Kelce is in shambles. The internet's going wild. So, he's falling apart. He's never going to be the same.
Man, oh my gosh, no. But yeah, Patrick Mahomes, I think, he'll clean some things up.
Yeah.
And a highlight to that though is, you can tell like even in some of those harder catches, the receivers are stepping up and catching those certain passes. So it's just good to see that they're helping picking them up. You know, at moments that they can. Some of those are just tough to catch, but I think he'll pick it up. Carson Steele in his debut as a starter, 17 rushes for 72
Crocky
yards.
J.
Yep. So around was that 4 yards or so, 4.3 or whatever yards a carry. So I would say that that's really good, especially giving him 17 carries. I mean, Pacheco averages around 15 to 20, 22 carries on the high side. So to see him get 17 carries is just showing like, hey, we're not abandoning the run because we don't have him, and we trust this guy that is playing, which I'm excited just to see what Carson Steele does.
He runs. I mean, he even alluded to Isaiah Pacheco by saying, Isaiah Pacheco runs angry, and he actually said he doesn't form his game. He really doesn't form his game off anyone. He just wants to get as far as he can on every carry.
Yeah, so, and most of his carries, like he is always going forward. You know what I mean? Even when he's getting tackled, he's still going forward.
Well, and they on the broadcast they said, man, that's what you want to see as a running back is like the front of your jersey is dirty. Wonder what the back of it looks like. And he pans the back. It was like it was like clean. It looked like it just came out the washer. And he's like, "That's what you want to see." Like, yeah, that is. So he's running forward. He's running over people. Like he's making contact and people are falling backwards.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. He runs hard. He runs angry. One difference between him and Pacheco, he's not really a catcher out of the backfield.
Yeah. So. Just his style of catching, which can really does matter with the running back because it gives them that momentum as they catch the ball moving forward. But but yeah, I think he played really well.
Really well.
And he stepped up and had some decent runs and some hard-on runs when we needed on third down. So, I'm excited to see what he does. Just more comfortable. It's the first game starting, so some of those nerves and stuff. But he came out and played well. I mean, one time he came out, and you can just tell he was gassed. He was just like on the sideline taking that breather. I think he stepped up and played well. So it's gonna be interesting just to see. And then P. Ryan, right with them, 6 for 25. P. Ryan did also have some catches in there. So it's good, just kind of committee that they have there. Then we'll kind of see, this first week where they put in Kareem Hunt. So we'll see what he can bring there. Rashid Rice is he is still that yak
Boy,
guy.
that rice was cooking.
That
you know what I'm saying?
was cooking.
That rice was cooking.
Yeah, I like brown rice. So he had
12
12 receptions for 110 yards. He had one touchdown, which again on that touchdown was a yak play. I mean, coming across and getting it, and yards after the catch, getting into the end zone. So Rashid Rice is stepping up big, and it's good to see him playing well. He was targeted 14 times.
Yep.
And so big game by him. Kelsey, he had 4 receptions for 30 yards.
On 5 targets.
Yeah, on 5 targets. Was 17 was his longest.
Hey, I'll take 4 for 30 over 1 for 5.
Yeah, and what most kind of the take on which everybody like, why don't they give him Travis Kelsey the ball and this, and we know a bunch of Swiftie fans out there just really, taking
they were mad because Taylor wasn't at the game. They don't care about Trav. I mean, they might.
Yeah, but one of the things understanding is he is being doubled and triple teamed quite a bit of the game.
Yep.
And I think that Kelsey he's a professional player, which he knows just that and he's a team guy. And he knows just what goes into the overall plan of the game to where, man, if I'm getting this type of coverage, understanding that, man, my guys have to be open.
Right.
And they are being open and they're stepping up making those plays.
Yep.
I get it though. He's a competitor. He still wants to get the ball and stuff like that. And after the first half, coming in the second half, he did get, that's when he started getting several of his targets.
Yep.
So I think things pick up there. But if defenses are saying, hey, we've seen how your receiving core was last year, the guy you brought in probably to be, your number 1, number 2 is injured. You got this rookie who, he's a speedster, but he hasn't proven anything.
Right.
So we are going to make you guys beat us without Travis Kelsey.
Yep.
So, and we're seeing that play out. I think they'll find more ways to dial up some plays to get him the ball. But right now, people are stepping up, and it's working.
Yeah.
I think Kelsey would get his, and we're going to see him get his. And then everybody will be happy, for the most part, But yeah, he had 4 catches for 30 yards. So he had a, again, not a spectacular game by him. But he made a few plays, which overall helped us in the win.
Yep.
So I think they'll clean. I think some of that come about as they just work different ways to get him the ball, get him open, maybe some screens. I mean, he did get the target that he got the one target that he dropped.
Yep.
That was in his
Would have
hands.
been a first down.
And you probably can tell, he kind of
He's
hit the
frustrated.
ground, the frustration, probably like missing the ball, but then like maybe his opportunities. But I think they'll clean that up. I mean, they'll figure it out.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
So, defensively, defense, again, every game, I said this Sunday, every game so far has seemed on the first drive of the opponent, the opponent just drives down the field,
Yep.
right? And they have scored on their first possession.
It's almost like the defense is like being like, okay, what are you going to do?
Right.
Like, what do we need to adjust to going forward?
Yep.
But I don't like it. I still.
I know, but I don't either because some of those teams will not make certain mistakes, and but defense is playing well. I mean, Spags he's doing his thing, and he's using the pieces that he has.
Yep.
Jamari Connor had 10 total tackles, 5 solos. Bolton, as you talked about, Bolton. That's why this man has to stay healthy. And I mean, in reality, he's playing for a contract.
Yeah.
We're not sure. Obviously, we would love for it to be with the Chiefs.
Yep.
But wherever he goes, this is a contract year for him.
Yep.
So him staying healthy is huge.
Yep.
And not only for that, like personally, but for our team and for our goal.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've seen even with that little nagging injury there, he comes back in the game and he makes. I mean, he has several major plays.
He had 3 tackles for loss in the game.
Within that,
And they were significant every time.
Absolutely, and then the big one that sealed the game for
Yep.
us. So he is that quarterback of our defense. We see it and we know it, and they're playing well.
Yeah.
I mean, Jamari Connor had that. What was it? Was it interception or fumble?
No, so
What was that one?
so Felix Anaduke had a fumble,
the
strip sack, where Bijan Robinson kicked it out of play, penalty, loss of downs.
Yep.
And then
the interception was
the interception. Turk Wharton came and swatted Kirk Cousins' hands right as it was going forward.
Yep.
And Jamari Connor comes in, he makes that interception, and then he hands it off to Jalen Watson.
Yeah.
That's how many times that happened last year.
Yeah, that was
on the fumble to Trent McDuffie to Brian Cook.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's funny that I almost saw that. Now he didn't get as much yards, but we got the turnover and we made it hurt.
Defense looks great.
Yeah, defense is stepping up, and I love it because on that last play and that 4th down, you see Leo Chenal come in there and he blows that right tackle, bro.
Yep. Well, he takes on 2 offensive linemen at once. He occupies to free Bolton up.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
Because
almost
they
like
couldn't
he's
break away.
blocking the tackle.
Yep.
To hold him there so
It
Bolton
opens
can get
up
through.
for his guy,
Right.
And which was huge because you just see. I mean, Leo just went in with just kind of the power that he had to just blow up where he could, and that just shows how strong
he is. An underrated sleeper for a linebacker.
Oh man, him and Jamari Connor, I think, are X factors for us this year.
Yes.
With obviously in the secondary losing Snead, and then losing Gay, who was just known in the offense, and he was a sideline guy. So
Right.
seeing 2 guys come up, I think, are huge X factors. That they're just silent, but they're making tremendous plays.
Right. Well, and a lot of people think that Drew Tranquil was taking over for Willie Gay. Realistically, it was Leo Chenal.
Yeah.
Like, Leo is the guy that had to really take in that role of Willie Gay because Drew played a lot with Bolton and Willie Gay. Yeah, they rotated, but we needed that third guy. We knew Drew Tranquil. We knew his track record. We knew he's good. We just needed that third guy. And, man, even last year Leo was making plays.
Oh,
so,
man. He's a great player. So,
yeah.
When his pay time come, I hope we get money to pay and keep him because he's playing tremendously well and he's staying healthy.
Yep.
So we love seeing that. And then we got to get to our guy. We got to get to him. Third quarter, he had 3 kicks. And second quarter, he had, 2? Harrison Bucker coming up big time. He went 3 for 3 field goal. He did miss one
missed
extra
that
point.
PAT, man. At the snap looked good. The hold looked good. He just pushed it.
Yep. He just pushed it. His longest was 53 yards.
Yep.
I mean, just coming up big and capitalizing because, that's another little thing. We thought that we would see major growth. Maybe it's just not yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
We was like, man, we're going to see major growth in the red zone, which, man, we're not seeing Jared Wiley in the red zone. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe he's playbook-wise. I don't know. But, we're not seeing what we need to in the red zone, which, speaking of red zone, Juju Smith-Schuster, after Rice goes down, with the
Yep.
wind knocked out of him. Juju comes in and basically runs the route that Rasheed Rice
Yep.
would have been running. Come around the middle, catch the ball,
Man,
gets in the
it
zone.
was
So
a
I'm glad to
great-
see he's coming along
Right.
and he's getting more snaps.
It was a
which is
great
huge.
route. I believe it was Xavier Worthy that ran across the middle on the other side.
Yeah, mhm.
Two of the defenders ran into him and held up that third defender. The third defender had to pause because the two guys ran into him and had to run under. So that was a great Justin Watson. It was Justin Watson.
Justin Watson.
It was Justin Watson. But
Yep.
either way, like Justin Watson looked like he was going to run into the guy, but then like sidestepped the last second, and then defenders ran into each other. And that third defender that was chasing Juju, he had to like holds up to try to get around him,
Yep.
so he didn't go down and wide open.
Yeah, wide open.
Just wide open. It was a great play.
Yep, and capitalized
So,
on that. So,
Yep.
yeah, that was great to see. We know we did have, well, we'll continue special teams here in a second, but, and then we know on that one third down, you know, there was some confusion.
Yeah.
Again, just some things we got to clean up.
Yep.
Maybe Rice, you know, he was too low on his route,
Mm-hmm.
and Worthy felt that, so probably felt that other defender as you see him stop. So there's some things that, you know, we're just overall cleaning
Right.
up. But they're winning the games, defense stepping up. And then special teams coming up big. Bucker had a big game. And then Ariza, man.
Matt Ariza,
Dude, I tell you what, he saved the game.
He saved the game.
He saved a major turning
Right.
point in that game, because if that ball goes over his head, they either, you know, get on the ball in the end zone for a touchdown, or they're getting in the red zone.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, Ariza got up there. I don't know if Townsend gets that ball.
No.
He was quick. He stayed under poise and still made a great kick.
It
that
looked-
almost was a turnover.
It looked like a receiver highlight catch with
Bro,
how
it
extended
did.
he was.
A buddy,
It was pretty
a buddy of
crazy.
mine text me, and another guy was like, Matt Ariza with the best catch of the game?
Yep.
Like, yes,
Yep.
it was.
So,
So his longest punt was 52 yards with 1 in the 20. So, yeah, we're just seeing him play well. So special teams is stepping
great.
up too.
Yep.
So, again, everybody's contributing,
Yep.
even besides some of the mistakes we're having, and everybody's contributing, and, you know, which comes into is winning that game and going
Right.
3-0.
yep.
And so another big win to come out there, and I get it. It's giving everybody anxiety in some of these games, but it's good. It's good. We got our next opponent being the Chargers, and you know, I truly believe this is our blowout game. I think it's coming,
Well, they're
especially without
they're
Herbert.
hurt. Yeah,
They're
without
hurting
Herbert, they're
big
going to be
time.
missing Joe Alt. Going to be missing Derwin James.
Yeah.
They don't really have any weapons on offense. Who is it? Slicker or Sticker is going to be the quarterback.
Oh yeah, Eric Sticker, I think.
Yeah.
Stickler, whatever. Yeah.
Stickler, something like that.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So yeah, we play them this Sunday
Okay.
at 3:25.
Okay.
They have Taylor Henneke.
Heineke.
Oh,
Heineke.
Tyler Heineke. That's right. Yeah. Easton Stick is his name.
Easton Stick, yeah, he's the backup behind him.
That's right. Taylor Heineke is used to be with the Washington Commanders.
Yep.
So, all righty. So, yeah, that's our next game.
Okay.
We got the Chargers, 3:25 Sunday.
Yep.
It's at their house.
Which we have done well in.
Yeah.
They
But
haven't
still,
beat
we can't
us.
we
in
can't
the way.
underestimate them.
Nope.
But we just got to come out. Listen, I want to see us come out, play well, execute in the red zone, clean up the turnovers, Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Please, you got to hear me right now. You better
Yep.
watch this and listen to what I'm saying.
Yep.
But clean up those turnovers. Defense continue to play well, and let's just go and control this game from the start. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, that'll be this Sunday.
Okay.
So
All right.
Yeah,
Sweet. I'm gonna go on a rant for a minute, man. If you
rant.
allow me to. So obviously another big situation in today or this weekend's game. Everybody's mad that there was no DPI called in the end zone against the Chiefs, right? Brian Cook was there early. It is a penalty. We'll start off by saying that was a penalty.
Yeah, it
they
was.
missed that one. But however, after that play, the Falcon. Go ahead.
well, and I want to say, like, understanding as well. Yeah, I agree. Sorry, it should have been called, but that was it was hard for that ref
Right.
to see by the way that Kyle Pitts is a big guy. He's,
Yep.
he's 6'5"
Right.
or whatever.
Right.
Big guy, and to see him come into is hard. Not making an excuse. It should have been called,
Yep.
but
Well, so and that's what I'm saying. It's like first thing, referees are human. They're gonna make mistakes, but so we have purposely stayed away. I'm sitting up for this one. We've purposely stayed away from the penalty controversy because I mean, really, realistically, you're not going to convince anybody on the side. Oh, Chiefs are being like helped by the ref. You're not gonna get into the head of somebody who truly believes that the refs are on the side of the Chiefs or like games are skewed to the Chiefs, right? The Chiefs do have a benefit or a tendency to benefit from calls late in the game, but that's usually because they put themselves in a position to win. Right? Teams that are in a position at the end of the game to win a game are going to be affected by penalties more often than not, right? Yeah. Unless it's a blowout, any close games, there's a good chance a call late in the game could affect the game one way or another.
Absolutely.
Right? But if you're in that situation where a penalty dictates the outcome of a game, you did not do your job as a team to win that game, right? You did not do your job. And that goes for the Chiefs as well.
Yeah.
Like the fact that these calls, even though they're going the Chiefs' way more often than not, it seems like, the Chiefs didn't do their job.
Yeah.
Okay?
I mean, on that last possession alone, like, and that's where you have to keep, like everyone, sure, like even for us, it's frustrating. Like when we feel like there's certain calls that should be and we don't get them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just like the call on Trent McDuffie.
Yep.
I mean, the receiver clearly went into his body first as where McDuffie was standing.
Right.
It went against us. I mean, just think on what? I think three or four of their first downs came from penalty on us.
Yep.
And some which we did. The horse
and this
collar
was
on
after.
us.
This was after that call in the end zone.
There was after that. So, there was the same scenario on which those calls going against us to where those aren't for us.
Right.
Those aren't for the Chiefs. Those are going against the Chiefs.
Right.
Some that we think shouldn't be made, and some that should have been called, which they were.
Yep.
And it's that point that if they would have scored and we would have lost on that possession, we didn't do our job because it came down to those us relying on we get those penalties happening against us, and we didn't do our job to close out the game to where that didn't matter.
Right. Well, and so the Chiefs are naturally going to get everyone's best effort, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So, for most teams, playing the Chiefs is their Super Bowl, right? A team can go 1-16, but the season wasn't that bad because we beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean,
wasn't that bad.
We seen the Raiders last year. They celebrated hard for beating us.
Right. Well, and you can't tell that all the penalties called weren't penalties.
Right.
I'm sorry. How about you as a defender not run through the back of a receiver going for a ball?
Right.
Simple. Right. How about you as a wideout or let's go to the you as a defensive back. How about you not grab the jersey of a player in the Super Bowl on the last drive?
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that makes me mad about that one is everybody takes the clip of after the break that Juju Smith-Schuster was going into. They always take it when he puts his hand on the hip. No, before he turns around, dude wearing a dark green glove grabs a white jersey and pulls it away from Juju's body. That's noticeable. That's your moronic fault for not wearing a white glove. Wear a white glove.
Right.
You know what color the team's going to wear. Wear a white glove.
Yeah.
That's not going to be seen as much, right? That probably wouldn't have been called. That's frustrating, okay? Yeah. So no matter what point of the game you're in, a penalty is a penalty.
Yeah.
Right? If there's a penalty, I believe it should be called.
Yeah.
You might be saying, Justin, at that point of the game, the referees shouldn't be pulling out flags. Just let them play. Okay, I say to you this. Get over it.
Yeah.
Like, realistically, get over it. Maybe the guy on defense not do all the things I just said, right? Mm-hmm. Play better. Play better in the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
How about instead of you guys complaining about no-call penalties, instead of going for a 4th and 5 in the red zone, you kick a field goal to get within 2 of the team. Your defense has been holding this team. Mm-hmm. Then they go out and get that 3 and out for the Chiefs, and instead of going for it on 4th and 1 again, you kick a field goal. Guess what? You're up 22 to 23.
Sure.
And while that doesn't guarantee you win the game, because Patrick Mahomes is on the other sideline, it guarantees you a chance.
Yeah.
You going for it on fourth down every time. Teams think they have to go for it on fourth down because of who's on the other sideline. It's like this mystique, right? So I heard Carrington Harrison say it this way on the drive last night. Shout out to you, buddy. But be team points, right? You should be on team points. I'm for team points, not team fourth down. Like, go for it. No, don't. If you score points, you have a better chance to win the game. Now, statistically, maybe you'll get it, but at the same time, you're not guaranteed that. You're guaranteed points or a chance of points. You could miss a field goal, but do you trust your kicker or not? You pay your kicker money. Give him a chance.
And that's where you see to where we all probably would love, as spectators, like, oh, my gosh, go for it, Andy Reid. It's 4th and 1. Like, you got Mahomes and you got this offense. You got Kelsey. You got Rice. But it's like, he's like, no, I'm going to get the points.
Right.
And we're seeing that in those moments, they are making a difference to their scoreboard. And because of those kicks going, and because taking those kicks, I mean, look at the turnout of that game.
Right.
We don't get those fourth down conversions. Who knows what the score in the game is looking
right.
like?
Well, and so you might also say something about, okay, what about ghost calls, like calls against players that weren't really penalties? Okay, what about Chris Jones being called for a roughing the passer when he had a player's the offensive tackle's hand in his face mask, pushing his head up, and Chris Jones only took one step, and they said it was throwing him to the ground. He spun and let go of Kirk Cousins on the way down.
Right.
That talk about ghost calls. That's not on any day. That's not roughing the passer, right? It's not. Then you had the hands to the face by Chamari Connor on that last drive. Where?
Yeah.
Maybe they called the wrong number, but there was no hands to the face by Chamari Connor. Trent McDuffie, when he had outside leverage and the receiver runs into him, he's entitled to that position.
Yeah.
He didn't move towards the player. He didn't move left. He didn't move right. He was planted in his spot. So, okay, that's my like, look, I get it. Do your job as a team, and you won't be put in those positions. The Chiefs tend to get those calls because teams playing the Chiefs feel like they have to play more aggressive to prevent big plays from happening, because you get to the end of the game and somehow, no matter how Patrick Mahomes is doing in the beginning of the game, somehow they find a way to win at the end.
Yeah.
Right? So you feel like you got to play more aggressive. You got to get there just a little bit early and risk it. You got to give a little tug on the jersey, right? You got to give the guy a little extra shove on the sideline, right? So, I mean, I get it. But at the same time, you need to stop blaming refs for your team not doing their job for what would we call that? A game is 58 minutes.
Yeah.
Your team doesn't do their job for 58 minutes. You're only going to focus on those last 2 minutes. Like, do your job the other 58 minutes, and you'll have a chance to win, man.
Yeah.
Make better decisions. Be smarter. And, like, I guarantee you, the first thing I will do if we lose and it's a call, if we lost on that last drive where all those penalties were called on the Chiefs, I wouldn't have blamed the defense or the referees for calling that game. I would have blamed Patrick Mahomes for not hitting his targets. I would have blamed receivers for dropping passes. I would have blamed defense for not guarding as long as they should, not getting to the quarterback as quickly. You know what I mean? If that ball goes over Matt Ariza's head, I blame James Winchester for not snapping accurately. You know, you got to think of those things. There's 100 and some odd plays in a game. One play called by the referee is not dictating the outcome. It might seem like it at the end, but realistically, it's not.
Yeah.
And I digress. Scene.
Yeah, there's always going to be just those controversial calls, whether as a fan you're going to think is right or wrong, and that's the nature of the game, nature of we're watching. I mean, I watched the Buffalo game, and no one's online ranting about how Josh Allen, he kind of scrambles out to throw a touchdown pass, and his lineman was literally holding the defensive lineman back towards him, and he's literally holding him like this,
bear hugging
in front of the ref. But no one's ranting about that.
Nope, it's only the Chiefs.
Yeah, I guess we are the I guess the new Patriots. On,
Yep.
Just getting all the calls and cheating and stuff like that. There's always going to be controversy calls.
Yep.
It's going to be, for, whoever you're watching, whatever game you watch, there's always going to be it. Again, those referees they are human. They're going to miss them. They're going to make them.
Yep.
And we're going to get upset and we're going to move on.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And you just got to understand that, again, as those things happen, like teams shouldn't put themselves in a position where that dictates the
100%.
outcome of the game, because you have to look at all the things leading up to it. It may be a crucial point that happens,
Right.
and it's unfortunate. Sometimes it's for you, sometimes it's against you.
Yep.
It happens, but you can't just be naive to understand that everything else doesn't play a role in that.
Right.
So that's that about it. Again, we're going to probably see it. We're going to see it more, but I'm just telling you now, it's going to be calls that are for the Chiefs, against the Chiefs.
Yep.
Calls against the Cowboys,
Yep.
for the Cowboys. Every team out there, there's going to be that.
Yep.
But hey, we'll keep moving on. So.
Yep.
All right. So, very quickly we'll get to we're gonna wrap this up with our picks.
Yeah.
We won't talk about our records for last week because no one cares about that for last week. No.
I took the season lead. We'll just say that. We'll say I took the season lead.
I did go 5,
and they're definitely not going to be on the screen here.
I went 5-11, and Justin went 9-7. So
You guys both thought the game was going to be a blowout.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Justin,
What do we
Dionte,
have?
you thought it was going to be 30-7,
Yeah.
and Justin thought it was going to be 28-9.
Okay.
Well, I honestly, at this point, I need to start picking closer scores.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
let's start off with
All right. Let's get it.
Thursday night, Cowboys at Giants. Both teams 1-2.
Okay.
Dallas by 4.5 is what they got.
I got the boys coming out of this.
Okay, yeah, I do too.
Yeah. They almost came back and won that game.
They almost came back, and
But
that would
almost
have
doesn't
been
count. Hey.
almost only counts in horse
Okay.
grenades.
Yes.
Shout out
So,
Parks and Rec.
I got the Cowboys here.
Cowboys as well. Sweet. That's on Prime Video, obviously.
Yep.
So we're gonna do Saints and Falcons. 2-1 Saints, which really disappointed me last week.
Me too.
Against the 1-2 Falcons. Falcons are 0-2 at home. Atlanta by 2 is what they have here.
Yeah, I actually do have the Falcons winning this game.
You have the Falcons
Yep.
winning this game too. Okay. Man, I don't know. I think I got to pick the Falcons as well.
Okay.
It's a toss up for me. Maybe it's a pop back week for the Saints, but at the same time, they're in the same division, and they're geared to beat each other. So,
Right.
All right. Yep, I'll go Falcons as well. Rams Bears.
Rams Bears.
Yep, it's in Chicago. They have Bears by 3.
Okay. I was like, where's they at? I got Rams beating the Bears.
Dang it, man! I don't want to pick all the same picks as you,
Yeah,
but I don't have any
Man,
faith in
Rams
the
coming
Bears.
back that last week was crazy.
Crazy.
Their whole team is basically not, everybody's injured, but they made a way.
I have no
Kyron
faith.
Williams had a big game, but I do got the Rams. Caleb Williams, until they get that offensive line worked out, they're going to struggle really moving the ball. So,
Yep.
I got the Rams.
All right. I got the Rams as well. I got no faith in the Bears. Vikings at Packers. 3-0 Vikings, 2-1 Packers.
Man, okay, can I make a little play here? I got Vikings if Darnold plays, and Darnold don't play. I may go with the Packers. No, I'm going with the Vikings here. Vikings with a big win last week too. Crazy,
made
like
Houston look silly.
I know
their defense stepped up huge.
Yeah, Vikings is playing so, but Packers play. Willis coming in to be the team that didn't want to keep him, but I do have the Vikings here, and they got Green Bay by 2.5.
That's because I'm taking Green Bay by a field goal.
Ooh, okay.
Green Bay by a field goal
I
at
got
home.
Vikings by 10.
You got Vikings by 10.
Yep, I'm calling it.
Oh man.
Yes, sir.
So 3-0 Steelers at 2-0 1-2 Colts. I'm sorry.
3-0 Steelers is probably going to lose this game, so I got the Colts.
You got the Colts?
I do. I got the Colts at home.
Ooh.
Anthony Richardson is going to have a bounce back game.
Okay.
Jonathan Taylor is going to go off. Anthony Richards is going to make some plays on the ground and in the air. So I got the Steelers losing this. And Najee Harris is potentially, he has a little injury as well. But I got the Colts. I got the Colts.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. right.
I got to pick some upsets. You're not going to do it every week. We got to bounce back.
I got the Steelers.
Got
That's
the
all.
Steelers. The
Steelers by a
Pittsburgh.
field goal.
All righty.
All right. 1-2 Broncos, who had a crazy win last week against Tampa Bay, against the 2-1 Jets. I've got I'll go first this time. I gotta go Jets, man.
I do too.
I gotta go. Their magic went away last week. Sorry, Broncos fans.
Yep.
But I gotta go Jets.
Yep. I'm going Jets as well.
Sweet. 2-1 Eagles at 2-1 Buccaneers. Eagles favored by 2.5.
I do have the Eagles winning this game.
Yeah, the Eagles win this game.
I do.
I think it's a bounce back week for the Buccaneers.
Okay.
Buccaneers got this. So, yeah.
I do think it'll. I think the Eagles win by 3. I think it'll be a close game.
Okay.
But I got the Eagles.
So yeah, I think it'll be a close game as well.
Alrighty.
I got the Bucks. So
Alrighty.
sweet. 0-3 Bengals, the team to beat in the AFC. Team to beat in the AFC. 0-3 Bengals versus the 1-2 Panthers at home.
And I'm going with the redhead, Andy Dalton.
Dude, the Panthers looked good last week. They didn't just look okay; they looked good. The offense looked good, but Adam Thielen. So that's going to be a big thing for me. Adam Thielen plays. Adam Thielen doesn't. I don't know. I think this is the week the Bengals break out of it. Unfortunately, to say, I think the Bengals come out 1-3 from this weekend. So
no, they do not. And if wait, where we at the Panthers? And which one of our peeps kind of mentioned to us yesterday. I mean, Andy Dalton, the only player so far in the league, with 300 over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Well, that was before last night. I think Joe Burrow did the same thing, if I'm not mistaken. Can you check to see?
Did Joe Burrow have 3 touchdowns?
I can't remember.
I know they scored last minute.
Yeah, so we're looking. Joe Burrow. Yep
Joe
Burrow threw for 303 touchdowns.
Yep.
So
number 2. That's right. They got a touchdown. At the end.
Andy Dalton was the first to do it. So it took 3 weeks in the NFL until the third week.
And the backup quarterback comes out and do it.
And Andy Dalton is the first one to do it. Former Bengal, by the way.
I know.
All right, sweet. So
yep, I got the Panthers.
I got the Bengals.
You got the Bengals. All right.
All right. Jaguars 0-3 at Texans 2-1. Texans are going to blow out the Jaguars.
Yeah, I got the Texans because I'm mad that Jaguars didn't win like I wanted them to last night.
Yep.
I got the Texans as well.
Texans as well. Okay.
Right.
I've got the...
All right, so Commanders and Cardinals.
Yep, Commanders and Cardinals. 2-1 Commanders at 1-2 Cardinals.
I got the Commanders.
Commanders?
They looked good last night.
They did look good. They did look good.
Davis played well. They executed offensive well. So.
I've got the Cardinals.
All right.
We got the Cardinals
right.
winning by a field goal, so I don't think they beat the spread. But 1-2 Patriots at 1-2 49ers.
I got 49ers, and they'll win by 10.5 or more.
Yeah, I've got the 49ers in a blowout.
Yep.
Ayuk is mad. He's going to go off for 150 and 2 tutties.
All right, sounds good.
Browns.
Want to trade somebody to get him in fantasy.
Yeah.
All right.
1-2 Browns versus 1-2 Raiders.
I got the Browns.
Yeah. That's not even close to what I thought you were going to say. I've actually got the Raiders here, man.
Ooh.
I've got the Raiders here.
Nah. Hey, that coach is calling people out and stuff. They got turmoil. I got the Browns.
Yeah. Okay. I dig it.
Mad at his press conference.
Next, we got the 3-0 Bills, who I think really are the team to beat for the Chiefs in the AFC versus the 1-2 Ravens.
I got the Ravens probably going off on this game. I think they will close out this game against the Bills. I think it's the Bills' first loss.
Okay. I like it. I'm not going to be mad at it. But, so I got the Bills.
Okay.
Monday night, 0-3 Titans at 1-2 Dolphins. Man, I don't know. Flip a coin. I don't know.
I got the Titans. I do. I got the Titans, yes.
Okay. I mean, Dolphins don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, I know. That's
right?
Why,
I got to take the Titans, too.
All right.
I'm taking the Titans.
All right.
3-0 Seahawks at 2-1 Lions.
I got the Lions, and I think it's going to be Seahawks' first loss.
Yep, I agree.
I got the Lions.
Seahawks have been looking all right, but I think the Lions are going to pull this one out. And then the game of the week.
I got the
The
Chiefs.
Chiefs at the Chargers.
Yes, I think we win.
Chiefs are favored by 8 points.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a 4-point game just by,
All right.
from history. I mean, the last several games, like the last 4 years, we've gone to L.A. and we've won by like a field goal or like a last-minute touchdown. You know what I mean? So I do think it's going to be a close game just because Chargers always play us close. But without Derwin James, without Justin Herbert, with all their offensive weapons gone for the most part, I've got the Chiefs realistically probably by at least a touchdown.
Okay.
So, yep,
That's it.
yep. You got the Chargers right?
Yeah, I got them losing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, that pretty much wraps it up, guys.
Yeah,
It's
man.
a little bit longer, but that's fine because I got to rant in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So, make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe. Comment down below what you think our records are going to be after this week. Call us stupid. You can argue with us in the comments about the refs situation. But yeah, man, you got anything else, Dionte?
Nah, man, that's it. Let's
That's
go
it.
Chiefs.
Let's go Chiefs. Josiah,
I'm good.
you good? Man, it's so nonchalant. Cool. Well, I guess until the next time, guys, thy kingdom come.